So I'm hearing that they missed the point of your presence. They missed the point of your presence. They missed the point. They weren't able to see why you were sent to them. The reason why you met them was because you were sent. Sometimes you don't know when this happens until after the fact. And they may still not know. However, you may know. It's like you know that you had what this person needed. You know you had what this person needed, but they didn't want to accept it. And that now is on them. I'm hearing that's on them. All right, so that's the download. Hey, soul family. I am Mystic Alchemy. Thank you for being here. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this. Spirit, what would you like to tell our honey roses about this situation? They missed the point of your presence. Your presence had purpose in their life, and they rejected the transformation. They rejected their ability to transform, to grow, to improve themselves. They didn't want to. They don't feel like they need to. They didn't feel like they needed to improve. They were happy with how they are. So it's like, if they're happy, then all right. Like, okay. Like, what are you going to say about that, right? I tried. I feel like a lot of you know that this person was going through things like that they weren't learning from. And it's like you tried to help them see things in a different way, but they just refused to, is what I'm getting. And I'm just feeling like you really did care. And you probably still do care, but I just feel like you separated yourself from the aggravation because it got aggravating. Frustration. I feel frustration. Yeah, you actually recognize that this person wasn't willing to change. Like, you saw what the issue was with them. Stubborn. Often not logical. Like, just trying to say things to make a point, but their point never really made sense. It was like illogical. But they were trying to force their way of thinking as beneficial, and it may have been beneficial to them, but not to you. What else? I heard they had more than enough time to change. And if they really wanted to, they could have. So you shouldn't take circumstances at your own fault, because it has nothing to do with you. You did what you could. So don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Yeah, like this person just rejected their calling. They rejected the help that was sent to them through you. They just rejected it. And then after they recognized who you were, to them, it was too late. Like, you had already left. The relationship is already done. Like, you know, I feel like you just washed your hands with the situation. You know, you just put your hands like, you put your hands up like, I'm done. I'm done. No more. No more. I'm out. I am out. I just heard strike. Unrequited love. tired of fighting, knowing that there's so much more with this person, and this person knows that there's a lot wrong with them as well. However, it's like they try to present themselves as okay. But however, I feel like there is a possibility that they could have like opened up to you to tell you that they have struggles. It could have been like mental health issues, or if they didn't tell you they have struggles, you could just clearly see them. Like you could clearly see that what they fight with, you can't help them with. And sometimes it's like that. No matter how much you want to be there for certain people, you can't, because they're not ready. Sometimes there are people that are just not ready to heal. And it's like, once we see that, we just have to be okay with it, right? Because it's not like it's taking you out of your element to keep trying with someone that doesn't even want to try for themselves. So it's like, why hurt yourself like that? Why put yourself through that stress? Like, if you know that you mean well by somebody and you're trying to be there for them so that they can get out of stagnation, and they don't want to accept it, then it's like, it may be challenging, but it's like to learn that, or to accept, not really learn, because I feel like you know, but to accept that that person made their choice is the best thing that you could do for yourself, instead of being stressed about it. However, I do feel like a lot of you have really come to terms with it, and it doesn't bother you as much as it once did before. For some of you, you might still be stuck in the cycle of feeling the pain like it just happened yesterday. But for a lot of you, I feel like you're like pushing yourself forward, and you just know who you are and what you had to offer to this person, but they just weren't ready for you. Like, this person wasn't ready for you. What else, Spirit? Let me shuffle these cards real quick. These cards are so bent up. Look at them. I stressed these cards out. Card stressed, okay? Can't say I didn't use these cards right here, but I'm very connected to them. But they just, I think I need to, like, I don't know, put books on top of them, so maybe I could straighten them out, like, maybe. Or a weight. My kettlebell, maybe. Maybe. Let's see. What else do you want to tell our honey roses about the situation, Spirit? The King of Pentacles. The Lovers. It's like Spirit is saying this person had a chance to create a beautiful life with you. They would have found comfort and strength. But they have more work to do on themselves before they can have someone like you. They have to learn to give themselves love. They don't show themselves enough love. And if they can't show, okay, if you're with someone in a relationship and you recognize that they can't even show themselves love, like they do things that show you that they're not loving on themselves, not in a conceited way, but in a way where you actually see someone taking care of themselves. Like, you know? But if you see that there's someone that you're with and they're just not really taking care of themselves like that, it's like that should be a red flag for you to know that it's very likely that they won't be able to take care of you in the relationship. Like, you know, because in a relationship, you really take care of each other. And if you're taking care of yourself and them, then it's like, who's going to take care of you when you're sick or when you're not feeling well, or when something comes up and you can't be in two places at one time and you need this person to cover for you in whatever way, or do something for you that you really are unable to, or you could do it, but it would just make it difficult for you. Like, you know, like, can this person spot you? If they can't spot you, or you question that, you know, is it worth it to stay with someone like that? I just heard Spirit say it's good to ask yourself questions like that when you're getting into a relationship with someone, because it'll tell you what you need to know. Like, ask yourself honestly, would they do that for you? And then do you have to like think hard, like, would they do that for me? Or do they just reassure you so much that you're sure that they would be able to spot you or be there for you, or help you when you're sick, when you're not feeling well, you know? You had to walk away from this situation because this person just had so many things within them that they weren't working on. And I also heard that there was so much that you felt like they weren't saying. And maybe some things that you didn't even get a chance to say. You knew that because they weren't willing to transform, you had to walk away so that you could keep your peace and keep your mental stability, because this person could have really broke you down, and they may have broke you down. They could have brought you through the ringer to the point where you went through things with them and it didn't feel good, and you had to learn from it. You saw a happy family with this person at one point. It could have been like towards the beginning, like you saw that there was possibilities. Maybe this person kind of showed you the part of themselves that you were mostly attracted to, like the part of themselves that connected to you. It's either that I'm hearing, or you chose to see what you wanted to see, because sometimes we can get into relationships and kind of adjust people in our minds to make it work, to like force it, hoping that the person does do right and kind of like veers away from doing wrong to you. So you could have been in that mindset where you were just, I heard shamelessly positive. It's one thing to be positive, but you're not blind. It's one thing to be positive, but you're not blind. If you see that someone is not meeting you where you need them to meet you at, then you want to take the proper precautions for yourself so you don't end up in a situation that's difficult for you to get out of, or just hard for you to handle. Like, if you see it, it is what it is. And if you just take it for what it is, instead of like trying to find different ways to make it work and it's not working, especially if it's not you and it's them that just is just being difficult, it doesn't take long for you to realize that you're stressed out in a relationship. Like, if you just really pay attention to you, you'll know that it's not worth working on, like the relationship, if the person is not open to the work. Because a relationship, like a romantic relationship, it's not always easy and smooth. Sometimes there's differences. Even if it is a loving relationship or not, sometimes there are still differences. But it's about really understanding if both of the individuals in the relationship are willing to hear both sides, like hear each other out. Because when you can't hear each other out and you don't respect each other's perspective, that's when it becomes a problem. So I see that you found here that it was better for you to stand up for yourself, and all of that energy that you were trying to put into the relationship, you put it into yourself, and you began to heal and walk away even though it was hard for you to. That's what I'm seeing here. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. There's no like trying to make something be there that's not there. If it's not there, it's not there. It's okay. It's just like you just waste good energy that you could be putting towards something else beautiful. Between worlds. That feels like in and out of a relationship. Like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You may have felt like this, or your person could have felt like this, or both of you could have felt this way, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like you want to be in a relationship, but it's not working, so I should probably just go that way. And the other person, they may have just wanted you for what you can do for them and not for you. You may have felt that, and it didn't feel good. What else? Breathe. It's like you recognize that it was time to be able to, it was time for you to have a peace of mind. Like, you know, it's giving like meditate on the things that you want to think about, not on a situation that's really not going anywhere. It's kind of like you wanted to have enough space in your energy to get back to self and think about what it is that you want to work on within yourself, and what and goals that you have, instead of just focusing on trying to repair something that doesn't want to be repaired or shouldn't even be repaired. Why came out. You may be asking, like, why do I keep getting into relationships like this? Or why do I keep ending up with people that aren't in alignment with me? You know, that's really a question for you to look inside of yourself and ask yourself, why do you keep letting those type of people in? You know, because it's up to you. Whoever you end up with, it's up to you. Whoever you give a chance, is up to you. Try asking more questions in the beginning. Like, you know, what are you looking for in a relationship? What's important to you in life? Like, you know, questions open-ended that allow the person to talk so you can really get to know them. Yang. I feel like many of you are missing the comfort of masculine energy, which is nothing wrong with that, because that's natural. Especially as a feminine energy, it's normal to want the comfort and the presence of masculine energy in your life. But you don't want to sacrifice your well-being and your sanity to just let, I heard, any person that is attractive just come in that easy, you know? Because all masculine energy is not in alignment with you. So what's most important is to allow masculine energy in that is in alignment with you. And then as for masculine energies, allow feminine energies in that are in alignment with you. Try not to just look at the looks, because you can get caught up just getting stuck on what somebody looked like. What about what's inside of them? You know, if you don't have any kids and you want to have kids, you want to make sure you have a child with someone who's nurturing, not someone who's dismissive, because then that's going to put more weight on you. Round and round. Yeah, I just feel like you're feeling like you're stuck in the cycle of being with the same type of person. But it's really about asking the right questions in the beginning, truly getting to know the person. I'm telling you, them open-ended questions are the best ones, because both of you can get to know each other. Like, you know, how many kids do you want to have? Do you have any kids? Like, you know, is there any place that you want to travel to, and why? Like, you know, those questions are so open-ended that it gives a person, and people, a lot of people, I always hear this, that people like to talk about themselves. So when you allow someone to express themselves, they feel a sense of comfort. Like, you know, they feel a sense of comfort, and then it kind of like builds the rapport between you and the person. So then you feel comfortable because there's a flow, there's a good flow. Once you have that flow, it's kind of like you end up getting to know what you need to know. No place like home and soulmates. I'm hearing that's one of the options you could take to get acquainted with one of your soulmates, because soulmate doesn't have to be just romantic either. It could be like a friend or a family member. Even your child could be your soulmate. But that's what Spirit is saying here. So this is really, the lesson here is really about your approach to relationships. When you get into a relationship, or when you are wanting or missing that tender loving touch and care and masculine energy or feminine energy, depending on what your preference is, the best thing for you to do is be open to getting to know a person for who they are, and transparency, you know, just being open to learning from the person, you know, from the person's perspective. Just truly getting to know someone can answer a lot of questions, and truly building a friendship first, even if you're like attracted to the person, because that's usually what gets you even to be around the person, because you have an attraction, which is normal because we're human. But it's just like making that person your friend first is just so much better, because you build like this bond and a trust that sometimes it could never be broken if it's a really good person, you know. And sometimes you realize that you don't really like this person's energy, and you don't want them in your energy. So you recognize that that's just not the person for you. Maybe they're for someone else, but just not for you. And it's like, it's no problem. It's just, you know, you found out what you needed to find out, and then you can move on instead of like wasting unnecessary energy. Okay, my loves, let me get one more card, and no, I'm compelled to get these other cards over here. Let me see. What else do you want to tell them for the last message? Sitting with sorrow. What else? So many of you could be really feeling sad from past relationships that didn't work, and that's normal. It's okay. Just try your best to stay active. Don't get stuck in a rut not doing anything, because it can make it so much more difficult for you to move and get back to normal. You want to keep your mind busy. Mentalizing emotional impressions. Yeah, I just said keep your mind busy. That's the best thing for you to do. Keep your mind busy. Be active. Stay active. Like, try your best. Push yourself to do some activities, hobbies, things that, you know, can just make you feel better, or take your mind off of the breakup. Or yeah, that's basically what I'm getting. Like, just stay active, you know, keep your mind on things that are good for you, things that's going to help you. I just heard get a book about relationship advice. See, like, if you're thinking about relationships and that's something that, you know, you want, educate yourself, or listen to other people's stories that have gone through challenging relationships and figure out how they got through it. Maybe by listening to different people from different places with different circumstances, it could help you find something that works for you within all of the different information that you receive. Not to say you have to listen to everything that you hear and do everything that you hear. Like, no. What I'm saying is that you can gain ideas from what other people say. Excuse me, my nose itching. And you create your own way. Like your own way that's signatory to you. Because everybody's way is not going to work for you. However, you can pick up some ideas from other people that could be very beneficial, very, very helpful for you. Okay? So I hope this message does find you at the right time. Always remember that God is in you and the magic is too, because you're magic. And much love to you. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for just being here. Thank you for being you. Keep shining. Don't stop shining. Okay? Always remember that God is in you and the magic is too, because you're magic. Much love to you, soul family. I'll see you in the next video.